Well, as most of you know, a leader is someone that can get a group of people and push them towards a common goal. And basically all leadership is influence, having the ability to influence people to accomplish something good. The way that you accomplish something good is by using your people to do that. These gentlemen are leaders in their own right today. I've been able to review their files and talk to some of their supervisors and look at some of the past experiences that they had, and I'm glad that they're part of this department. I've got to work with De La Cruz more than I have with Flavin, but I've really looked at De La Cruz as somebody who is a top-notch detective. He's a go-to guy, somebody that I've had to call on numerous times, and he takes a good followership role, which probably means that he'll be a good leader as well because he knows when to step into both roles. Before we get started, Sheriff, would you like to say anything to kick us off? Or?
Likewise, Michael, these guys have come to us, and I know they're just as interested. And of course, Nicholas has done a great job in this position, so I thank both of you. And just for everybody, just the loss of those Marines and those Army personnel last week in Afghanistan, just take a moment to think about them and their families, and of course all the other Americans that were left behind there. So just thank God for them and them being willing to do what they do to keep us free. And of course our guys here to keep us free and safe on the homeland. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you. There's never been, I've been in this department a long time. I know a lot of these ladies and gentlemen stand up here have been here a long time. There's never been more of an opportunity for promotions and advancements in this department. And that's intentional. The sheriff has opened up a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities for this department. And it's because he values our people. It's not by accident that these gentlemen are getting promoted this morning. We try to push these leaders up and hold them up and support them. And so, Sheriff, we appreciate your leadership and appreciate you allowing to do this promotion today. The first person that's getting promoted today is Michael Flavin. Michael, if you'd come stand by the sheriff here. Deputy Flavin was hired in February of 2011. He's worked in the Field Services Division, different areas of command and different shifts. He's a field training officer. He's a firearms instructor. He's worked on the crisis intervention team. He's been a field investigator. He's an active shooter instructor, a tactical medic instructor, an active attack integrated response instructor, an exterior response to active shooter instructor, and probably half a dozen other things. He's been awarded the Life-Saving Award here at the Sheriff's Department. When I did look at his file, I found that he has numerous letters of commendation. Some of the ones that really stood out to me were the commendations that he got from citizens. Citizens recognizing how he treated them, the compassion that he showed, the ability to work hard for them, to when they had an issue or a problem, no problem was small in his mind. He worked towards a resolution for them, and that's what we foster here at the Sheriff's Department. He's a great reflection of that. He also is a member of the U.S. Army, received several awards in Operation Iraqi Freedom and some other places, so we really appreciate his service there. He received an evaluation for a positive evaluation for leadership in Operation Enduring Freedom, and I got to read some of that citation. It's pretty impressive, some of the things that he's done to serve our country and now serve our community, so we really appreciate him. I did get a statement from one of his former supervisors, Captain Carrillo. She said, Deputy Flavin has always been known to be reliable and consistent. With his extensive experience on patrol, he is someone who could be trusted and relied on to take charge of a scene and assist others when a supervisor was not present. He was always interested in teaching and training the new deputies and was always eager to help them work through complicated calls. He has always been comfortable taking a leadership role, which should make his promotion an easy transition. So that's the type of person that Michael Flavin is. Well deserving of this promotion, and I'm glad that he's getting promoted today. So, let's see here. In attendance is his wife, Carly Flavin, and she'll be pinning his badge today.
She wanted to sit way in the back.
I don't. Picture.
Probably want to take a picture. Don't run off. We got time.
Michael, do you want
Photo with
to
you.
say a few words? You want to say a few words?
I don't typically do a lot of talking to crowds, so I don't have much to say, but I want to thank Carly. 3 months ago, we hit our 19-year anniversary married, and she's been with me through Iraq, Afghanistan. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here tonight or today. So I really want to thank her. She's everything to me. My 4 kids, they couldn't make it today. 3 of them were in school, and the other one would have been tearing up the room, so we left him with the nanny. So I want to thank the nanny, too, for taking care of him today. My family, of course, they're all real big supporters of me. Friends in the department. Without them, I learn everything. I learn something every time I deal with somebody, no matter how long they've been here. Whether they're new, so I've learned new things from guys already in the last 6 weeks as a sergeant with new people, and I've already learned things from them. So I'm always trying to learn, and I want to thank everybody who's taught me anything throughout my 10 years here. I know I've talked to plenty of people on the staff before testing to get a little bit of advice. Captain Carrillo helped me out a little bit there too, so thank you. And like the sheriff said, God bless our troops, and thank you, sir, as well.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Next, I'll ask Nicholas De La Cruz to join us up here. De La Cruz was hired 7 of 2012. He worked in FSD for 6 years and CAT, which is our community action team, for the last 2 years. He was a field training officer, part of the Gang Recognition Intelligence Patrol. He was a field investigator, a basic instructor trainer, and recognized as a narcotics traffic expert in court. He has 21 letters of commendation, 2 life-saving awards, and the non-uniform deputy of the first quarter in 2020. I asked a couple of his supervisors about Nick, and like I said, I've been able to work with Nick a little bit here and there. Usually he does the work. I just tell him, hey, I need this done, and he does the work. So that's working together, I guess. But Santiago Roybal, one of his former supervisors in CAT, said Nick was one of the original members of the community action teams, and his first detective assignment, he quickly took initiative and started gathering informants and opening his own cases. He was a valued team member and never turned away from work. As part of the community policing efforts, De La Cruz was asked to attend several neighborhood association meetings. After the meetings, the presidents of the association called to thank me for assigning De La Cruz to the neighborhood. I was told he was attentive and offered lasting solutions to their specific problems. I couldn't ask for more than that. I'm excited to see Nicholas De La Cruz move on to becoming a sergeant and having his own team. He is an asset to the department and to the community, and I look forward to working with him as a supervisor. In addition to that, Ryan Schmidt, who is his current supervisor in CAT, said, I truly value my time working with De La Cruz over the past year and a half. He is one of the hardest working people I've ever been around. He constantly strives to serve and help other law enforcement officers. I have received many emails and phone calls from citizens that displayed great gratitude for Sergeant De La Cruz's ability to solve their case in a professional and empathetic manner. He was looked to as a leader within the unit and continually went out of his way to help other detectives and deputies be successful in their investigations. While supervising him, he was arguably one of the most productive detectives in the unit, if not the department. Just prior to going on to FTO, he was a case agent in one of the largest narcotics investigations busts in 2021. Many of his targets and arrests through his investigations have been adopted by federal agencies, which is a testament to his ability to identify high-value criminal targets. He is outstanding representative of BCSO. I know he will utilize all of his experience and expertise and leadership abilities in his new supervisory role to continue to help serve those around him and the people of our community. So just like Michael Flavin, these guys have a heart of service. I know that to be true from watching them, and we appreciate him. Today in attendance with him is his children, Ezra de la Cruz and Josiah de la Cruz, and the mother of his children, Danny Hudson. And today his sons, Ezra and Josiah, will be pinning on his badge. So if they can come up.
Turn this around a little bit. Nico, please.
Read my stuff.
Don't read your stuff. All right. First, I'd just like to thank God for blessing me and my family. We've been through a lot, and He's provided us with everything we've wanted. Second off, I'd like to thank the mother of my children, my mom, who wasn't here to make it. Without them, I wouldn't have been in law enforcement. They're the ones that kind of pushed me towards law enforcement. Second, I'd like to thank my father for keeping me out of trouble, because I definitely would have been in trouble if it wasn't for him. Also, I'd like to thank all the command staff and everyone that I worked for and with. I've been influenced greatly by you guys. I've been here for 9 years. I've had the opportunities to do really cool stuff and work for some really great supervisors and some great leaders. So I just want to say thank you, and now I'll be able to hopefully do the same for the new guys and following. So thank you guys.
That concludes promotions this morning. Sheriff, did you want to say some final words for us?
I just, again, I'd like to thank the families out. Oftentimes we don't thank them enough for making the sacrifices. You stand in the shadows as they're able to go to work, and obviously we don't work normal hours. And I know whether it's Nicholas or it'll be Michael now that spend extra hours out there in the field. Thank you for making the sacrifices you make. We appreciate you.
Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much.